Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, here got a fun and exciting video for you guys today. That is because I am playing a work in progress alpha of the Mario Party 4 PC port. If you've been paying attention to all the big decomp energy going around, Mario Party 4 was 100% decompiled, making it one of the first GameCube games to hit that status, and now you can play a work in progress PC port of Mario Party 4. It is not 100% finished. When it's working perfectly. When it's not working, you basically get booted back to the desktop. But that is not any sort of dig at the product. I'm hyper impressed with what's going on right now, and I can't wait to see where this goes in the future. And just so you know, this is called Party Board as far as the port is concerned, and I really do love the naming conventions there. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But honestly, being so early in the overall development cycle, a lot of Mario Party 4 here is completely playable. There's still about 15 mini games that will not load up and will actually crash the application, so you do need to be aware of that. Just don't think you're going to go in and be able to play a game from start to finish. Maybe you'll get lucky and not hit one of those 15 boards that'll give you issues. Maybe you won't. And I swear that shy guy down there is absolutely just stolen that hat from an Arby's. Looks exactly like the sign. I'm just holding it here for a moment so you can see the animations. Now everything is moving well until we go into Toad's midway madness. As far as the graphics are concerned, as far as the control is concerned, honestly this feels way more progress than a 0.1 release. Just so you know though, there's not going to be any soundtrack sample from this version of the game because right now there is no audio incorporated in, at least to the time of the recording. Because this most recent update, the one that was actually playable enough for me to want to do a video, came out about 48 hours ago as the recording of this voiceover. So unless audio got magically added in before tomorrow, I will leave a link in the description below to where you can play this and a notation if that audio did come in. But if I was to pause the screen and just do a screenshot of it, you would 100% think that this was working perfectly, aside of the fact that you have the FPS overlay as well as the back end being Vulkan. That shows up the entirety of the capture. I couldn't figure out any way to turn it off, but it is kind of an interesting piece to keep up there so you can see the actual frame rate. Because this thing, one, it is running well. I have absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. The performance, no latency in the controls, just everything you want out of a Mario Party 4 experience. Now before you ask down below in the comments, can't we just emulate this thing on Dolphin? You absolutely can. You can get visual enhancements, and I believe it'll support 16:9 as well. But getting something like Mario Party 4 ported over to the PC would add in a ton of mod potential in the future, and one that I would love to see would be any sort of online multiplayer support. Because honestly, my wife and I basically play every single Mario Party game that comes out, but I would love to be able to add some of our friends in who don't live in Chicago, or even be able to pick up a game with 3 strangers from somewhere in the internet. Honestly, I don't know if that's going to happen, but it is the number one thing I think of when I think of a PC port of some of the Mario Party games that don't have online support, being able to give these games new life. And obviously, if you had mod support in there, you could do texture packs, you could do potential new boards. The sky really is the limit. But of course, mods aren't guaranteed. Just because the possibility could be there doesn't mean anyone's going to make them. But I feel like you would see a lot of people very interested in doing something like some Mario Party modding. And honestly, these games hold up every bit as well today as they did back in the day. And that is because it is such a simple formula. Go ahead and roll your die, play the mini games, try to get as many stars as you can and beat everybody else. Rinse and repeat. But of course I got my least favorite puzzle, pun very much intended, right off the top, trying to match these pieces. I just don't have the brain for that quick memorization, so I absolutely take the pipe on this one. But again, even seeing this running on PC in the first place, let alone enough so that you can actually save your game, jump back in, and finish a board if you get lucky and don't hit any of the problematic mini games is amazing. And the nice thing is, at this point in time, if you do want to play around with Mario Party 4 on PC, saving is incorporated, so if you do hit one of the mini games that will crash the actual experience, you can just go ahead, jump back in, load up your game, and hope you don't hit that mini game again, because they are at a random number generator selection, so you can actually get a full game in. Might take a few restarts, but it is possible, and that even of itself is very impressive because it's not like this game has been decompiled for all that long, and that's what you're really seeing these days. A lot of these decomp projects end up at least in alpha status on PC port within like 3 to 6 months or so. No guarantee on the time frame of when this thing could possibly be done. It might take 4 weeks, it might take 4 months, it might take a few years. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But again, GameCube decomps, recomps, and PC ports are becoming a big thing in 2025 and now 2026, and I like to say this is why retro gaming is making a comeback. We have so many new versions of some of the best classic games out there, and in a lot of ways, when the PC ports are done, you have 16 by 9 support, 4K textures, and everything else. It really brings in an audience to these games that never actually played them back in the day. Because if I give my nephew something like Mario Party on GameCube, they're not really going to be all that interested, but if it looks like a Switch game, I'm definitely going to get them to sit down and play, and that's all that really matters. Because as scary of a thought as it is, we're honestly not getting any younger, and if new generations don't start playing some of these retro games, a lot of the popularity of them is just going to die off, because basically I feel like every year, retro gaming loses X% of its players just because life gets busy and people move on. And honestly, as far as Mario Party is concerned, Mario Party 4 is absolutely one of my favorite entries on the GameCube. If you take a look at the graphics here, you'd be hard-pressed to believe that this wasn't running on Dolphin or real GameCube footage off a component cable, outside of the fact that again you see the actual frame counter in the upper left-hand window. All of the textures, all of the graphics here just seem to be doing exactly what they should be. Now I like to say again, I only have the one set of eyes, you have tens of thousands depending on the views. So if you see anything you don't like about the graphics here, any issues whatsoever, do leave me a comment down below, because again, as I capture these things and I edit them, I can sometimes become blind to what is right in front of my face just because I spent too much time with the actual footage. But in the mini games, again, even if I am going to lose this one, because I played around with the settings and made both Mario as well as Wario on hard mode and put Luigi on basically idiot status, I ended up with him as a partner, of course, and really not holding his own weight, but I wasn't exactly killing it here either. But every single function works, all of the button inputs work, there really isn't any latency in the controls to speak of. It just feels like playing Mario Party the same way you would sit down and play it on Dolphin or on GameCube. But there could be so many fun boards added to this, or maybe sometime in the future if we actually get all of the Mario Party games on GameCube decompiled, you could have one master version that had every single board and overall gameplay style in one executable. Because we see that on the N64 there is a combination game out there that combines the mini games from Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 together into a master version. That would really be my dream for something like the Mario Party franchise on GameCube. Every single game decomped, every single game made into a PC port, and then one master version of that playable online. Now I totally get it, I can't do the work, and I'm not asking anyone to do the work for me. I'm just saying, in a perfect world, if I could snap my fingers and make something happen with this overall PC port, that's what it would be. But again, nothing is promised and guaranteed as far as these things are concerned, so just be patient. I'm sure this will improve in a little bit. The only thing that doesn't really seem to be working right now is when that die is spinning, or should be spinning, you should see different numbers come up, but it's basically stationary on one number, and then you just get whatever random thing you want. But it is one of those things, maybe that's just how it worked. Again, I can't remember. There's so many different Mario Party releases out there, even my brain gets a little bit muddled as to which one's supposed to do what. And I've always loved the developers at Hudson Soft putting in so many different small touches, like when Wario gets giant there and jumps on the teacups, he doesn't ride inside of them, he flattens them out versus just kind of basically standing on top of them. The Mario Party games have always been an amazingly fun time, and playing them on PC definitely doesn't make them any less fun. But the reality is it doesn't make it any more fun either. It just gives you a new way to play some classic games, and that absolutely is something I love. Because big decomp energy is just a through line in 2026, and you're going to see a lot more of these things coming. We have the work in progress Legends of Zelda Twilight Princess PC port, and another team working on one behind the scenes that really haven't seen much of. We have a ton of different static recaps going on N64 and other platforms, including PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360. And you have these GameCube PC ports as well, because that is the thing. Everything you're seeing from GameCube running on PC right now is based on a decomp project. None of these are static recomps. And if you don't know the difference, I will leave a link in the description below if I remember, and I often don't, explaining the difference between what a decomp, recomp, and PC port is, so you guys all understand that, because it can be a little bit confusing. I was trying to find a safe spot to stand here, because in some of the games, you can just basically do nothing and end up winning. That was a little bit more prevalent in the N64 titles, but still something you can get away with every once in a while on GameCube. But unfortunately I wasn't paying well enough attention. I ended up getting absolutely blasted in the face by a snowball there. But that is the fun part about something like Mario Party 4. The entire franchise in general, they're just absolutely fun games to play, made so much better by playing with friends in the same room. It would be so easy to hook up 4 controllers to your PC and have a blast, and maybe have network support sometime in the future. But you'll see here at the end of this round, I did get unlucky and I hit one of the mini games that isn't currently working, so you will see this PC port crash. I'm not saying you should run and play this right now because, again, a crash is likely. There is no audio and it isn't perfect yet, but it is definitely, as far as a first pass is concerned, absolutely impressive, and does go to show that at some point in the future you will be playing a Mario Party 4 PC port. And again, if you want to play this, it is in the link in the description below. It's on the decomp page on GitHub under the release tag. There's 4 different versions. Definitely grab the 0.10 version. That is the one you're seeing here. But I always love asking this question: if you could play any one game on PC from GameCube, snap your fingers, make it appear as a port, which one would it be? But short of that, we're done. You're going to see the crash, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.